My name is Alleyne, hail from New York City, and my son's name is Tashon Jenkins. I got him when he was 6 years of age. I knew that he had a behavioral problem. I knew he had problems, but he had nobody, so I took him. Now he's 19. I adopted him in 2004. I've been through hell and back with Tashon. First, the agency I got him from told me that, Jeanette, you cannot do anything with this kid. Put him in the institution. And I said no. I took him to school. The Board of Education worked with me. I have to give them that. They were right there with me. I took him to school this morning, have him register in school. Okay, I'm going home. By the time I get home, I was called. Tashon is in Bronx, Lebanon Hospital. When I get to the hospital, he was in handcuffed, feet and legs, hands and feet, just lie in the bed like that. And the language that was coming out of his mouth was worse than, I don't know, garbage. Okay, he spent about 3 months in Bronx, Lebanon. I got him again. The Board of Education gave me another school to take him. Same behavior, once, twice, 3 times. While he was at Bronx, Lebanon, the agency got him in Deborah in Philadelphia. So, well, good, there's going to be a change in Tashon. Now, Tashon was on so much medication that when he comes home, all he could do is drool. Eating around the table, he couldn't. At 14, he was wetting the bed. I mean, it was the worst thing that I've ever seen. And I worked with the state for 20 years as a special education teacher and a behavioral modification therapist. And it was the worst thing that I've seen. But what really threw me is when my son came home from the service and he looked at Tashon and then he looked at me and he said, Mommy, I thought you was a good mother, but why are you allowing them to kill Tashon? Right? And I look at my son, and I didn't say anything, because it was food for thought, because the medication was killing him. He couldn't eat. If you put his meal, he would take up his spoons and, Auntie, can I go to bed? Fine. From Deborah at Philadelphia, he went back down this Sunday. The Monday morning, I went to the Board of Education. They said, Miss Alleyne, what's the matter now? I said, I want Tashon from down there because they're not doing anything for him, right? They gave me another school. I took him to school, sat there with him, and by the time I get home, he was in the hospital again. The agency said, Jeanette, put this kid in the institution. Now I'm fighting 2 forces because the agency want me to put him in the institution and my son accusing me of not being a good mother. So I said, okay. While he was at Bronx, Lebanon, a nurse friend told me, Jeanette, have you ever heard about Judge Rotenberg Center? I said, no. She gave me the number. I called. Somebody came to the house and they showed me the tape. For about 3 hours I sat there. I said, God, I've been in psych for 20 years and I never see this. So I said, okay, I'll give it a try. I had an appointment. I went up for the interview by myself. Then I had another appointment. I took Tashon, and they refused nobody, okay? And that's the point that I love with Judge Rotenberg Center. They refused nobody. Everybody could be helped. Okay, and he is there now since 2005, and I cannot deserve better. I mean, he could coordinate his clothes. You don't have to tell him to brush his teeth. You don't have to tell him to make his bed. He does not wet the bed anymore. Okay? And he would open the car door for you. He would help me put the groceries in the car. He would say, okay, Auntie, I'll fill up the dishwasher. You cook, I'll do this. Right? I mean, these are things I've never seen from this kid for all the years I've had him. Okay? And I called my son, and he came home from the army. And I said, you know what, Chris? I'm sorry I came out on you that way. You were right. And now Tishon is 19. And I mean, he's the love of everybody's life in the Alleyne's family. And I give that to Judge Rotenberg and Dr. Israel. I mean, I don't know what I'll do if I didn't get that school. Now my concern is, he's 19, he's going to be 21. Should I bring him back in the New York system that refused everything? Everything. I mean, look, I made his packages psychosocial, psychiatric, and I walked them into programs. And in 2 days, they called me and said, Miss Alleyne, we cannot take him, not with this behavior. Okay, what am I going to do if they stop this program? Yes, he has 2 more years there because he's going to be 21, but I'm going to try to keep him there if I have to pay from my own pocket to keep him there, because to expose him again in the New York City, and this kid is a follower. He's not a leader, he's a follower. You know, so I'm asking that you people do some consideration and thinking about this program. You know, I sat here and I listened to all these parents, you know, and I thought that I was bad, that I had it bad, but there are others that have it worse than I do, you know, and I really empathize with these people. I mean, one thing that was on my side, I guess it was the knowledge from working in the state for 20 years and my knowledge and my educational background and whatever. But I mean, it was hard, okay? And I wouldn't like nobody to go through what I went through.
So do the students from New York have to leave at 21? Is that what the rule is?
Yes, after 21, the Board of Education cut them off there.
But not if you're from Massachusetts?
You know, so that's all I have to say.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.